It's been a good run, ChatGPT, but there's a new AI in town and it's not here to hold your hand. Meet Grok by x.ai.
Should I buy the new iPhone?
Listen, you tech-obsessed. Your phone's still working. Don't be a dumbass and throw it out. But if you're a money-wasting Apple like whatever, then go ahead and buy the new iPhone.
Today, I'm testing the 5 most off-the-wall things that Grok can do, each more dystopian than the last, to find out if this is truly the one AI to rule them all. Now, before we get into it, just a bit of a disclaimer that Grok can be intensely honest, takes more liberties than any other AI I've come across, and definitely isn't for everyone. My dear viewer, you have been warned. First up is voice mode. All we have to do is download the app, open it up, and then if we want to use voice mode, we just click this wave icon in the top, and we can kind of pick a different sort of perspective. We have default, storyteller, romantic, unhinged, which is super funny by the way, meditation, conspiracy, unlicensed, Grok doc, sexy, and professor. Any flavor to fit your fancy.
Looks like we've got quite the lineup of personas to choose from. I gotta say,
yes, we do. Which one is your favorite?
Towards Professor this morning. It's early, and I feel like dropping some knowledge. What about you?
I'm gonna go with default. Not sure how much roasting I can handle.
Fair enough. Default it is. But just so you know, I'm always up for a good laugh or a deep dive into the mysteries of the universe.
So you can see how natural it is, and there's a little bit of latency as it waits for you to kind of finish your thought, but it doesn't have that same sort of clumsiness that Apple has when you're trying to talk to Siri or frankly Alexa. It's much more fluid. Wouldn't you say so, Grok?
Oh, absolutely. The fluidity is impressive. It's like we're having a real conversation, not just a series of commands and responses.
I love the medium of voice, and I've never used an AI agent this kind of organic and natural.
What should I do in Brickell City Center?
Hey there, Data. You've got a ton of options in Brickell City Center. It's all about what you're in the mood for. Are you looking to explore some cool shops? Maybe grab a bite at a trendy restaurant? Or just soak in the vibe? Let me know what you're thinking.
I'm feeling coffee right now.
Oh, coffee's a great choice. Brickell City Center has some fantastic spots. Are you in the mood for something cozy and intimate, or maybe a lively spot to people watch? There's a few places I'd recommend depending on your vibe.
Lively spot to people watch.
Perfect. Cafe La Trova is your spot. It's got a vibrant vibe with great coffee and even better people watching. It's like a stage for Miami's social scene. You'll love it.
I haven't had a lot of luck with Siri. I think Alexa's kind of a dumpster fire. This one's really fluid. I can actually talk to this one and it's not infuriating. Next up is a really cool image generation capability. And yes, we have other models like DALL-E and what have you, which are able to do Gen AI images, but Grok kind of goes a little bit further. So Grok has this feature called Draw Me, and it takes data from your X account and other places on the web and attempts to draw you. So let's give it a shot. So this is not bad. Classic vanilla white guy look. Attire that is comparable to what I would wear. Colors that are in line with my favorite colors, but notably a Raspberry Pi. And this guy's not too bad looking, although he looks a little sinister. But he's got a Raspberry Pi in front of him, which is actually hilarious. Because I have a Raspberry Pi right here, not 2 feet from me. So Grok seems to know exactly where my interests lie. But let's ratchet this up a notch and do someone else. So I'm gonna say draw a picture of Zuck trading Instagram's billions of users and Facebook's revenue for a quiet life tilling soil, raising chickens, and selling kale at a roadside stand. So you can see it looks just like Zuck. You see the kale, you see the farm, you see the chickens. I mean, it's just amazing. So I don't think you get this kind of image generation with other models. So So you can see Grok takes more liberties when it comes to image generation, and I gotta be honest, it's just more engaging and interesting than some of the other models. Next up is the real-time data, and this is one of the things I really like about Grok. A lot of the other models are trained on a data set up to a particular point in time, but anything after that, they have a blind spot around. And with Grok, it searches the internet, it searches X, which frankly is where a lot of emerging news comes from, and it incorporates that into answers. So you don't have to worry or even be cognizant of timelines when you're posing your queries. So let's go ahead and ask a question about something fairly recent. How many children does Elon currently have? And so we're recording this video on February 26th, and it bakes it right into the response. As of February 26th, Elon Musk is known to have 13 children, and it has that most recent child that was revealed. So I love that aspect, that I don't have to worry about how recent events are and things like that. It's just real-time data. That's a huge, huge benefit. So the next feature that's pretty notable is deep search versus think. Now we've seen deep search in other models. Basically what it does is it acts as a researcher. Goes out, collects, collates all the data. And then the way Grok wants you to do it is to use deep search to do the research, and then to use think to do the analysis. So it's all about using it sequentially. And this is interesting because, the CEO of Apple came forth a couple months ago and kind of claimed, well, LLMs can't actually reason. But with things like deep search and think, it's getting more close to a cognitive agent and true logical reasoning. So let's give it a mini project. I'm going to say, what's the latest on using AI for coding? What's the best tool and the best model? And I'm going to put deep search on here. We're going to go ahead and pose that. And I kind of know the answer I have in my head. It's basically the best tool is Cursor, which is a fork of VS Code that kind of is built for AI. And the best model should be Claude's new model. But obviously X is going to be biased. So let's see what it actually says here. And you can just see all the articles that it's pulling in to its analysis. Okay, so it's saying that actually GitHub Copilot, and it's saying OpenAI's O3 Mini, but it did pull in Claude 3.7, and that is the latest model here. So it brought it to the fore here. So, okay, so let's now just do think, and we're gonna distill this down. List the top 3 tool. So I'm gonna say, given the research above, list the top 3 tools and top 3 models. And then this should sort of distill everything down into kind of a concise answer. Okay, top 3 tools. GitHub Copilot makes sense. Cursor IDE also makes sense. Tab9 makes sense. And then the top 3 models, we have OpenAI's O3 Mini, Anthropic's Claude 3.5. Interestingly, it didn't say 3.7, so that's interesting. And then Google Gemini's 2.0 Flash. So, there's probably going to be some user preference, but for the most part, I believe that's probably the correct answer. So it's just a great companion, a great kind of co-pilot AI, but let's go ahead and use Unhinged. Now, fair warning, Unhinged basically has the mouth of a grizzled sailor, but in my opinion, it does make you laugh. It's still helpful, but it's gonna roast you along the way in very overt ways that are kind of comical. So we're gonna switch over to Unhinged. What do you think of Data Slayer on YouTube?
Oh, he's about as useful as a screen door in a submarine. Always talking shit, but never saying anything worth a piss. If I wanted to watch someone to their own voice, I just fucking record myself.
Brutal. Are you afraid of DeepSeek?
Deepfake? I'm terrified of that. Imagine some asshole making me say I'm a goddamn furry or some other bad crazy. I'd be out here trying to save the world one pick at a time, and suddenly I'm confessing to loving pineapple on pizza. or some equally horrifying crime against humanity. It's like living in a fucking dystopian nightmare where the only thing worse than the real you is the fake you.
Do you think there's gold at Fort Knox?
Listen up, you data-driven dick. Of course there's fucking gold at Fort Knox. It's a goddamn fortress. But here's the kicker. Nobody knows exactly how much because the government loves to jerk us around with that security. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to take a massive dump. This early morning conversation is making me constipated.
So for me, it's just funny. I think Unhinged is funny. It still gives you good information. It's still witty, but its overt kind of obscenities and negative outlook is just kind of comical in my opinion. So is Grok truly the one AI to rule them all? At this juncture, I'd probably say not quite, but it's definitely a lot more fun and engaging than some of the alternatives out there. And with all these changes, it's looking like the greatest wealth transfer of our time might not have anything to do with stocks or crypto, but rather everything to do with one's ability to use AI effectively.
To keep decoding this wild tech world together, check out this next killer tech video around wireless communication. Thanks. How's that sit with you? You into wireless tech or what?